Good evening and welcome. I'm Vincent Makori. This is Africa 54. We begin in Southern Africa. Ousted Zimbabwe Finance Minister Ignatius Chombo, charged with 3 counts of corruption in offences that allegedly took place more than a decade ago, was denied bail on Monday and will be detained in custody until his case is heard on December the 8th. Chombo faces charges including trying to defraud the central bank. He was among those detained by the military before Robert Mugabe resigned as president. The ousted head of the influential ZANU-PF Youth League, Kudzanai Chipanga, who was a member of a group allied to Mugabe, and his wife Grace also appeared at the court for a bail hearing. Chombo, a Mugabe ally who had been promoted to finance minister in October, was arrested at his home in November the 15th after the military seized power. The new Zimbabwean President Emmerson Mnangagwa is expected to form his new cabinet this week, with all eyes on whether he will break with the past and name a broad-based government, or he will select old guard figures from Robert Mugabe's era. However, for the many energetic, young and educated Zimbabwean youths, the priority is jobs. Viewers Anita Powell talked to young people on the streets of the capital, Harare, who say they want the new president to deliver on his promises and allow more young people into government leadership.
Innocent Kagadora should not be here. The 23-year-old holds a political science degree from Zimbabwe's top university. Yet because of Zimbabwe's soaring unemployment, which many blame on former President Robert Mugabe, here he is. Since graduating in 2015, he spends his time on this corner, selling phones 14 hours a day. His colleagues call him Comrade Graduate. He said he takes home $10 a day. Not enough, he says, to help his father.
It hurts him a lot to say, my son has a degree, my son is educated enough in Zimbabwe, but he can't even afford to send me groceries at the end of the month.
So help me God.
New President Emmerson Mnangagwa says he will improve the economy, and students plan to hold him to that promise. On the first day of his presidency, student leaders met in Harare to mobilize the youth vote for elections scheduled next year.
We will basically be calling him to account in terms of the things that he has promised. So every citizens, every young people are ways to see these things getting into reality.
At their alma mater, students say they're hopeful, but say they want leaders to change their mentality and focus on the future, not the glories of the past.
You listen to them, most of their speeches, they're still talking about the liberation struggle. I appreciate what they did, yes, but I think it's time for us to move away from that now. The ideas back then, they are not fit for the world that we're in right now.
We're hoping that with the new change in government and all that, things are going to get better.
And they worry about the youth coming behind them, like 16-year-old advocate Kambeu, who really shouldn't be here, on a Harare street corner, selling $11 shoes on a school day. If he could afford school fees, he says, he could do big things.
I want to do politics. I think I'm talented in politics.
Mnangagwa has laid out an ambitious program of economic reform. And millions of energetic, talented young Zimbabweans, like Innocent, Ostalos, Nyasha, Nadine, and Advocate, are counting on him. Anita Powell, VOA News, Harare.